Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another MPJ new rock album review show. I'm Nigel, we have Trish, we have Pete, we have William, we have Dom. Today, Simon has had to fly, and if you listen to the show for the first time, we review all the latest rock albums, rate them out of 5, will it get into our Hall of Fame, if it gets 4 or more. Golden Halls if it gets like 4.3 or 4.4, and if it gets like 4.6 or more, it gets into a legendary status. But will Skunk Anansie get there? Pete, I'm going to start with you on this one. What did you think of Skunk and Anansie? What do you think?
Okay. So first of all, I have a lot of notes. So I only took notes on 3 of the 6 albums, because 3 of the 6 albums I was going to listen to a lot anyway, because I love the bands. The bottom half is all Skunk Anansie. I've got a lot of notes here. Is that positive? Trish is already nervous. Fact of the matter is, Skunk Anansie is a legend, of course, and that made me kind of nervous reviewing this album, because it may not be completely my cup of tea. And I don't want to sit here and rant on about the legend. So, kind of nervous. I started the album, which started off shit with an artist is an artist. Did not care for that song at all. But then it started picking up. It started cranking out banger after banger. And I really enjoyed listening to this album. It's got given me a lot of 80s vibes with the synths, groovy laid-back vibes, like, the lo-fi beats to study to video, that sort of thing. Something you may not know about me is I really started kind of developing a taste in music when I was around 16, and it started off with a lot of these British pop rock bands like Block Party, the Kaiser Chiefs, the Arctic Monkeys. That's what kicked it all off for me. And I'm hearing a lot of elements of all of those bands right in with Skunk Anansie, which of course begs the question, did Skunk Anansie inspire these bands, or is it the other way around? I think it's the first. Skunk Anansie must have been a huge, huge inspiration for bands like The Streets, Kaiser Chiefs, Arctic Monkeys, Block Party. I'm hearing all of those bands in this album, and I'm loving it. Even a bit of The Police, so that's got to be the other way around. But yeah. Going through the album, Shame, Lost and Found, Cheers, all good songs. Then when it comes to Animal, I think it kind of drops off. But then you got the penultimate song, My Greatest Moment, absolutely brilliant. Should have been a single instead of An Artist is an Artist, if you ask me, which is really the only letdown on the entire album, that track. Otherwise, really good album. Gotta say, Skunk Anansie, she still got it. What a voice. What a lady. It's good. It's real good, and I'm happy about it. I don't have to sit here taking this shit all over a legend. Well done.
Right. Started in positive fashion. Will it continue? William?
Well,
yes. you shouldn't have to say anything, darling.
Yes.
I'll make you lots of tea on Monday.
This was an album which I listened to multiple times, multiple scenarios, both at work, driving home. Fortunately, none of those times resonated very well. It just really annoyed me. Not gonna lie. The opening track genuinely made me so annoyed. I couldn't focus. It's just an artist is an artist because an artist is an artist and an artist is an artist. The voice annoyed me a lot. Just in general, in a lot of the tracks. I couldn't get behind it. It's very not me. Like, in contrast to my esteemed colleagues who've spoken before, my first things getting into music properly were Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, and Breaking Benjamin, which is very, very different to this. And so this is just not the kind of music I like to listen to a lot. Indie is not my cup of tea. These things just don't resonate very well with me. I'm sure, as you've all said so far, if it's the kind of thing you like, it's going to be great. But for me, who's a dirty little metalcore boy, it's just not there for me, I'm afraid. Yes.
Oh, Right, can we, look, it's like snakes and ladders, isn't there? We've gone up a ladder, we've come down on a snake. Will we go back up on a ladder? Let's find out. Dom!
Yeah. Well, Skin, she's got such a recognisable voice, hasn't she? And it's awesome for me to hear that 57 years old, she hasn't lost any of her vocals at all. And she hasn't lost any of that kind of punk, alt-rock, indie attitude, or just an amazing skill with her voice. I mean, I think she has just got total control of her instrument, which is her voice. The album, it's witty, it's snotty and in your face, and like all good music in this genre, it doesn't compromise. It's experimental, it's different. It stays true to everything that Skunk Anansie were, and I'm of that age, as some of us are here, who remember Skunk Anansie the first time around, and actually what an impact they made on the British music scene at the time. To be honest, I think the songs are quite simple. There's nothing hugely surprising in the album, but it's still really good. Blending all the samples and beats, that was always kind of part of how that band worked, and that was what was so great about them at the time. It hasn't been my favourite album of the month, but I really did enjoy it, and it was a great sense of reminiscence listening to Skunk Anansie. I don't think I've listened to them for so long. Lost and Found was probably my favourite track on the album. It really focused on Skin's vocals, and which were just remarkably pure and beautiful in her mature years, which is fantastic. Great album.
Back up the ladder. Will we keep climbing it? Trish, I can imagine so.
So, Will, knowing how much you love that track, I've done a little ditty for you, based on me. So, a finance assistant is a finance assistant. When a finance assistant is a finance assistant, and she doesn't stop being a finance assistant because she's old, you know.
Love it.
That's going to be ringing in your ears, mate, all weekend. Joking. Yeah, I love Skunk Anansie. I've loved them since 1997 when I saw them supporting Kiss at Finsbury Park. I'm not sure I can put into words or express enough my excitement for the release of this album or my love for this band without getting emotional. Never before have I been ready to hit the download button at midnight for the release of an album until now. Every album they write and draw from their experiences and emotions you can connect with on a deep emotional level, whether happy or sad, both lyrically and musically. This album is no exception. It's raw, gritty, and like the album title says, it's truthful, even if at times painful for them to write about these experiences. From the opening track, An Artist is an Artist, which just grabs you speaking the truth, each track flows into the next, taking you on a journey with them. The rhythmic beats and guitars on Cheers and Animal, you can't help but move along to, and it would be rude not to as you feel the music. Favourite track? That's a tough one, as they all have their own place for me. I have to say Lost and Found and Meltdown, as they give me goosebumps and make me feel so much emotion listening to them. This album has been on repeat. Each album they make is sublime, but somehow the talent and skills of Skunk Anansie, they manage to find that magic to improve on perfection. This album for me is flawless and exquisite. I simply cannot say any more words without shedding a tear.
Okay. If you give me a choice of either listening to Artist as an Artist or the whole of the Sleep Token album, I would choose the whole of the Sleep Token album. That's how much I hated this opening track. I think it must be the worst opening track of an album I've listened to all year. It is pants. Absolute pants. However, the rest of the album is bloody brilliant. Okay, and I absolutely loved it. I think that when somebody like Skunk can really be hitting those notes and then lure you in with Shame, which is just such a beautiful song, beautiful lyrics, and My Greatest Moment, and be able to go from the sheer adversity and pants as Artist and Artist, and then deliver tracks such as Shame and My Greatest Moment. The album is just such a bit of a roller coaster. And I think it's better than modern. There is simple kind of pop lyrics in there, and a bit of rock and a bit of indie kind of tracks in there as well, touched by some beautiful moments. I like ballads. I do. I'm a sucker for a ballad. I'm a sucker for a great song. And Shame has definitely been on my playlist of my greatest moment. Absolutely terrific. I just wish that artist didn't exist, because otherwise it might well have been one of my top albums of the year. And I agree also Animal wasn't great either. But overall, a cracking album. Overall, a real cracking album. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
We fully agree with each other.
I know, right? I was just thinking the same thing. I think me and Pete are actually on the same page here, which is a rare treat. It's a rare treat from that perspective. So I tell you what, Pete. Let's start with you then. What did you give this one?
Yeah, actually, I didn't write it down and I forgot, so just had to look up what score did I give this again, and it was a 4 out of 5.
And do you know what, Pete? It was the same as me, Pete. I'm gonna hit this. We also give it a 4. I think it could be the first time we've agreed on a score. It's outrageous. Dom, what did you give it?
4. I'm with you guys.
Oh my God, we're on a roll here. And William, you're on mute.
I simply didn't. Give it a point.
Nothing. Nada. A 0. You give it a 0.
I got nothing out of it, so I can't, in good conscience, give something I can enjoy any points.
Well, let's go from the sublime to the brilliant of Trish. What did you give this?
5.
5. There we go. Simon give this. Well, if Simon give this a 3 or more, then it would have got into our Hall of Fame. But he didn't. He gave it a 2.5. So it's like a repeat of Sleep Token all over again. 3.9, just outside our Hall of Fame. And again, still overall our top 150 albums of all time. 36 halfway. I mean, the competition this year has been ridiculous. So congratulations. Do you agree with the legends? Do you agree with Trish? Do you agree with William? Do you agree with the guy somewhere in the middle who thought it was a good song? Please leave your comment below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you very much for listening, and keep on rocking. Goodbye everybody.
Bye.